Virgo, welcome to your reading for the week of January 9th to the 15th. Let's get started. See what messages we have for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead, keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages in those readings as well, which will offer you a full picture. Okay, my friends, let's see. What is the energy around the week ahead for Virgo? Energy around the week ahead for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Higher power, serendipity, why, and community. All right, flexible on the bottom of the deck in reverse. So perhaps you're being too concrete in your thinking when you're examining why things are the way they are within a certain group of people. Seeing community here. So it feels like, Virgo, that right now the energy around you this week is sort of focused on understanding intentions of people in a group. So this may be a social group, a work group, a group of friends, a group of people that have a similar interest, like a group of people that you do a similar activity around or with. It almost feels like it could be, we'll flush it out more with the tarot cards, but it almost feels like your higher power is guiding you through a process right now that's going to have an outcome that feels serendipitous to you. There's a lot of synchronicities happening. This is a story that's unfolding because it needs to unfold to teach you something. And it almost feels like as you question why things are the way they are, you're going to find the answer. I almost feel like you know, by saying things like, show me why, show me how, and show me why, show me, you know, asking to be shown the truth about something, asking to be shown the intention, what motivates a certain situation. The power of understanding why here. You might not always understand why. You know, you might ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Why did I say that? Why did they say that? You know, why is this happening the way it's happening? What does this tell me about myself? These feel like the kind of questions, and it feels like it surrounds a group of people. When I look at that community card, this could be family. Again, this could be family, friends, social group, work group, the people that you live with, the people that are in your community. It could be a kind of community that you're wondering about. And it feels like you're trying to figure out what is bringing something to life. What is causing this to be the way that it is? It feels like it's going to serve you. No matter what's going on here, that may seem like, I feel like it may seem heavy because you're kind of not being super flexible here. I feel like perhaps you've already assumed you understand why. Maybe you made an impulsive leap to understand a situation and you're like, well, that's why. It's like that because of this. You know, perhaps it's a blaming situation. Maybe you're saying, why is this like that? And then the answer is you're blaming it outward instead of looking at how does this relate to me and my story, and what is this teaching me about myself? You might be engaging in some blame, and you're sort of being guided to look at things with a more flexible point of view instead of one that is almost assuming that it knows. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Dig deeper, Virgo. Because there is something here that could be mutually beneficial. It could be a win-win, but because of the rigid way of thinking, that sets you up almost for a fight, right? Where there are only losers and no winners. When you or someone else becomes too rigid, you tend to lose access to the ideas that can promote growth and untapped potential being realized. So instead of looking at this as an us versus them scenario, try to open your perspective to be more flexible, because you could meet in the middle somewhere and have win-win. I feel like you're making some assumptions here. And I feel like we're seeing that higher power card because this is all being guided by your higher power to bring in sort of guidance for you that is sort of asking here, what is the highest good for everyone? How can I serve all? What is the highest outcome? What is the highest good for everyone in this situation? Very interesting because of that community card, right? When we see that higher power card, it reminds us that you are more than just yourself trying to get ahead and make things happen. You are connected to everyone else, and we are all connected to each other, and together we are all connected to the source that created all of this and is animating this whole movie. Sometimes I think of it as a movie. So it's not just you in a vacuum, Virgo. Although it may seem that way sometimes, it's not. So perhaps that's where the rigidity is. So as you're wondering why, ask the question, what's the highest good for all of this community? Not just me in a vacuum, but for the whole community that you're focused on. What's the highest good for all? And I feel like you're going to find that leads to a win-win instead of a situation where nobody wins at all, where everyone sort of loses out. It's interesting. And things are all happening in a way to bring you to the highest good with that serendipity card. So this is a very intriguing reading so far. Let's jump into the tarot here for Virgo, looking at that higher power card as it's guiding you to remember the connection. We see the Seven of Pentacles. So which way will you go? I think right now you're trying to decide where to invest yourself. Do you invest in a new path away from this community, or do you keep working on sort of planting seeds for everyone to have a benefit here? This is interesting. This is a really big choice moment for you. Where are you going to focus? Are you going to focus on what you've been trying to develop and grow so far? Or are you going to switch paths and move into trying to sort of grow and develop something new, something that is outside of where you've been focusing so far? And there's no right answer. There's just consideration and direction. So it's almost like you need to take pause here and reflect to see, do I want to keep going or do I want to change directions? I always sort of see the Seven of Pentacles as a sign to keep going, because the Eight of Pentacles, which comes next, shows that you master something. You become a master at what you've been working on. So don't give up too early on this community. There's something. I almost feel like you're the leader of this community. Are you a leader of a community, Virgo? I feel like that's who I'm reading for. 10 of Swords in reverse on serendipity. So your luck is changing. I know that's funny to say when you see this card, right? Your luck is changing. It's in reverse. That's a good thing. It's a good thing because it means the worst is over, and the stuff that came out of nowhere that suddenly got you and suddenly sort of pinned you to the ground, you're slowly getting over that. This all happened serendipitously. This all happened to formulate some new chapter in this movie that we're in here that we call life. But something happened that sort of you're ready to get up from. The worst is over. The worst of it is over. And now we're ushering into a time of celebration, it feels. But you have to be willing to look at what is the highest good for everyone. I can see now why you might be thinking you have to just focus on yourself in a vacuum because of this 10 of Swords. But that is going to prove to be a blessing in disguise. This is going to prove to be a blessing in disguise. Let's look at that why card. Yeah, of course you're asking why. Who wouldn't ask why after a 10 of Swords moment? And this is where we see the highest good. This is where we see the integration of your experiences so far to understand this situation more and to see why indeed, like why did that have to happen for real? But I feel like you're ready to get up from it. You might not feel like you're healing, but you are. I feel like whatever this was for you, Virgo, it kind of brought you to rock bottom. It was painful. It may have felt like it was a sudden sort of situation that came out of nowhere, but it's actually proving to me how resilient you are, and that there was something that needed to happen here. You needed to see something. Sometimes I see the Ten of Swords as the truth, that the delusion and the illusions can't keep going. And that's a blessing in disguise. You have been shown the truth about something. Now you're asking why. Why was this necessary? Why did this have to happen? And I think that you're seeing the whole picture. It had to happen to bring completion and closure to something so that you can sort of see this as a teaching moment. It really feels like this is something that you were learning so much from. And as I say that, I look on the bottom of the deck and I see the Hermit. So this is a time where it's causing a lot of introspection. It's showing you the truth in a way that's requiring you to look at things from a different perspective. I almost feel like you're the leader of something here. And it's like, as the leader, you didn't see this coming. This sort of ending or this conclusion that kind of brought you down to a level that you weren't expecting. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing because it has revealed truth to you. You now see things very differently. The perspective you hold after a Ten of Swords moment is different. It's like you have seen rock bottom and now you're ready to get up and look at things from a different point of view. It's almost like something was shattered and it, yeah. The truth revealing itself can shatter illusions in a way that can sort of bring us to rock bottom sometimes. But this is a blessing in disguise. It's bringing things into completion with this world energy. And as you ask why, try to focus your introspection on the question of what did this experience teach me and where is my highest good, right? What is my highest good? And let's have a look at this community, because I feel like this had a lot to do with people, that you might be the leader of these people. So, you may have experienced almost a revolution where a coup, right? Where people were conspiring to bring down the leader. That's almost what it feels like. It's like, and there's that Four of Wands. I saw it on the bottom of the deck when I said there will be celebration. This is a time to be grateful, seeing it in reverse. Not only is it going to bring in a celebration, but it's also a time for you to be like, I'm grateful this happened because it showed me the truth. And now I see the truth about things, and I am grateful for the community that I was almost going to give up on, right? It's interesting. There was a revolution, and it almost showed you who your friends are and who isn't your friends in this community. And it almost feels like there was a divide, right? And there may not be the same people in this community anymore, but the ones that are still here are the true ones, the ones that really do see things the same as you. And I feel like there's a blessing here for you. There's a blessing to know the truth, but we're seeing that Moon card wanting to flip over. It's also kind of scary because you don't know what lies around the corner. You're in the midst of a transformation here, so you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring or what it'll look like in a month, a year, 5 years. You have no idea. All you know is that things are transforming into a new place, and you're being guided to look at things from a different perspective, a higher, more flexible perspective, not one that's so rigid. Well, let's clarify some of these cards. We're seeing the Fool and the Empress as I cut the deck. So yeah, I really do feel like this is your community for some reason. I feel like whoever I'm reading for right now is a Virgo who is sort of at the head of a community. It's interesting. Let's look at that Seven of Pentacles. Oh, there's the Eight of Wands flying onto the floor. So you're getting this green light. Don't give up. Keep going. This is a sign to keep going. Don't give up. Keep going forward. Don't give up on what you've invested in, and don't let yourself get too focused on the past. Focus on this gift coming in the Four of Cups. Focus here. Don't focus on these cups. Focusing on these cups essentially is like focusing on this situation in a way where it's like, you know, that hurt my feelings. Why did they do that? Focus here. Sorry, focus here. I wasn't looking at the camera. Focus on this auspicious cup coming from the clouds out of nowhere to offer you a new emotional perspective. Instead of feeling like a victim or like, why did they do that to me? Try to refocus that energy on this new beginning, because and there's the Hermit again. You're getting that Hermit all over the place here, because it's really time to look at things from a different perspective. Instead of looking at yourself in a vacuum and saying, why did they do this to me? Try to understand, what is the lesson here? If you look at it from a different perspective, what does this teach you about yourself? And ultimately, that is the question. And the Six of Swords. So it's time to get distance from those energies or certain individuals or certain beliefs that contributed to you thinking and hesitating and not wanting to sort of move forward in terms of giving up. So this is you moving forward. This is you saying, yeah, I'm gonna leave that stuff in the past, and I'm gonna move forward with just the clothes on my back. I'm not taking anything with me. I'm not taking emotional baggage with me. I'm not taking old narratives with me. I'm not taking this hurt with me. I'm not taking these 3 cups with me. I'm moving forward with just the clothes on my back, and I'm off to a new destination, to a new perspective, to a new way of looking at things. And we see the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like it's very intuitively guided, this situation, and it's very emotional. And it's interesting because it's like you can't let this permeate you. You know what I mean? You that's what this Four of Cups is saying to me with the Six of Swords and the Hermit, is that look at this from a different perspective and don't let it become your new story, because that's not the point of this. Ask yourself that question. What does this teach me about myself? Not about what does this teach me about other people and why I'm going to blame them for this situation. No. You're the star of your movie. So you have to ask yourself, what did this teach the main character about the main character? You're the main character. Now, to close your reading, Virgo, let's pull an oracle card for you to see, where is the energy pooling? Where is it sort of gaining and gaining momentum and pooling? I almost see this idea of it pooling in a certain area. Yeah, we see that adversity card coming out. Taurus got that too. And the bottom of the deck for you is that open heart card. So it's interesting. This has been a time of adversity. You're facing a lot of adversity right now, but it's teaching you something. It's teaching you how to open your heart. And as it's teaching you how to open your heart, you're almost at a place where as you face these adversities head on, they lose their power over you. You're ready to get up from this adversity. And it's almost like you can ask yourself the question, am I allowing my inner strength to present itself? You know, you're looking deeper at a situation and saying to yourself, you know, what did this teach me about myself? Don't let the muck of the emotions of this situation take the stage. That's not the focus. It may feel like the focus, but that's not the focus. The focus for you in this is to reach through the muck, like the lotus in the picture, right? No mud, no lotus. Same idea here. You've had to work hard to be that lotus. You had to sort of come through something that was difficult and challenging, and it caused adversity for you. But now you're the lotus and your heart's open and you're able to move forward. And with that open heart energy, it feels to me like you're going through a moment here where you may really understand something wise about your experience. Really, really. This is beginning a lesson of the duality of your heart. A deep understanding is forming for you here from this experience, and it's teaching you unconditional love. I mean, really, that sums it right up. It's teaching you unconditional love, and that's why your higher power is here, guiding you to that oneness, that connection, that we're one. And I feel like you're starting to see that unconditional love from a time of adversity. Adversity is teaching you unconditional love. Pain and adversity. It's beautiful. You know, it's really beautiful because it's like there is this sort of moment that you're going through that is really guiding you to this lesson of unconditional love, but it's happening through adversity. It reminds me of Rumi. The wound is where the light enters. The wound, right? The wound is where the light enters. That's how we understand the truth about unconditional love. Is sometimes it's through the wound, it's through the adversity, it's through the challenge. And it feels like that's what's happening for you right now, Virgo. But you know, just be mindful that you don't have to internalize the emotional mud. That's not the point of this. You're moving towards your highest good through adversity and realizing the truth about unconditional love. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, my friends, I'm going to leave it at that for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope it's been helpful. If it has resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. I appreciate your support on the channel so much. If you would like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below. And as always, I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care.